Hello and welcome to Backroads DIY. In today's video, we're going to talk through how to backwash an Intex sand filter. This video is going to be a little bit longer since it's geared towards beginners, but if you want to skip ahead to the actual backwash process, just scroll to the Let's Backwash chapter. All right, here we have our Best Way pool. We just replaced our old one a few months ago. The Best Way, Intex, and Coleman pools are all kind of built just the same way. Pretty similar construction. A few years ago, whenever we first got our first Intex pool, we upgraded the basic cartridge filter that comes with that to this Intex 6-position sand filter. I do have a video that I'll post in the description that covers each of the different settings here and what they do. I typically backwash my pool every week to possible 2 weeks. Just kind of depends on how busy the pool is, how my kids are out for the summer, so they're in the pool almost daily. Also kind of depends on how much debris you did in your pool. A couple indicators that I look for specifically with my pool are the amount of water that's coming back out of the return, which you can see down here. I also look on the side of the filter. So right here is a pressure gauge. You can see I'm in the green. I am going to go ahead and backwash today because I had a recent outbreak of algae that I just cleared up. So even though I'm in the green, I want to make sure that all that debris and all that algae is out of my sand filter. But normally, once that filter indicator or that pressure indicator turns yellow, definitely if it turns red, I want to backwash. And the way that these pumps work is that water comes from the filter part or the skimmer into the side of the pump over here, gets pumped up into the top of the tank, through the filter head, down through where all of the sand is. It gets pushed down to the bottom through that sand. The sand filters out all that debris, and then water gets sucked back up, little pipes in the bottom, and gets pushed back to the return part of your pool. Now during the backwash process, that water flow is reversed. So instead of water coming out the top back through the return, water comes through the bottom of the filter, agitates that sand, works that sand all around, gets all that debris pushed out and up, and then that actually comes through the drain line that we have right here. All right, now that we understand why backwashing is important and when to do it, let's actually get into the process of doing the backwash. One important thing to note before we get started is that this process will remove water out of your pool. So I've already checked my water level. It looks good. Even if the water level drops an inch or two, I'll still be in an okay position. All right, so first thing we're going to do is hop over here to our pump, and we're going to turn the pump off. Then we're going to remove the cap and the rubber gasket off of the drain port. Always remove the rubber gasket, because once you turn that pump back on the backwash cycle, it will be pushing water out with a decent amount of force, and that can blow your gasket out. So always make sure I remove that rubber gasket. All right, so next we're going to attach our hose. I don't have a long backwash hose. My pump is here close to the grass, so I just have an extra hose. Try to do this one-handed here that I'm going to hook up to it just so it blows that water out into the grass there. All right, I got my hose hooked up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to move our port, our handle here, over to the backwash. Okay, and you can see water is already starting to come out, but what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the pump back on, and you'll see that it starts coming out with more force. The water, when it first comes out, will come out very cloudy. Mine's, like I said, mine's coming out green because I did have algae recently in there. So the water is now coming through the sound filter up the opposite direction. It is agitating that sand. You can see in my sight glass here that it is very, very dirty. So I typically run the backwash process for usually 1 to 2 minutes or until this water runs clear. And I'll come back in a minute when that runs clear. All right, we're back. It's been about a minute, maybe a minute and a half since the backwash has been running. You can see our water is now nice and clear. So we're gonna come back up to our pump. We're gonna turn it back off. All right, and now we're gonna move our valve over to rinse and turn our pump back on. All right, so what the rinse cycle is going to do here is it's going to have the water go the correct direction back through the sand bed in here. It's going to re-level that sand out. Since we agitated it, that sand's been pushed kind of all over the place. That rinse cycle is now going to level the sand. If you skip the rinse cycle, you do run a risk of pushing that sand back through your return hose and back out into your pool on with whatever possible debris is still left in that filter. All right, our water's still running clear, which is good. We're going to let this rinse cycle run for about 30 seconds, maybe up to a minute. Now, if you have a really dirty or plugged filter, you can run this backwash and rinse process more than once. But I think just for us, one time will be just fine. All right, we'll give it here maybe another 5 or 10 seconds, and then we will flip this back off. All right, let's turn our pump back off. We're now going to turn our multi-port valve back over to filter, and that looks good. All right, now we're going to turn our pump back on, and we see, if you check our pressure gauge here, we see our pressure is down in the drain, which is good. And if we come up and check our outflow, we see that the pressure is good here. We got plenty of good pressure coming out, and we're good there. All right, so that's all there is to it. If you found this video informative and helpful, we'd appreciate your support by liking our channel or subscribing. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the comments, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching.